Monday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation. Coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV and over on X as well. Welcome to Ungoverned, 5th hour of content in a row for you, boy. Again, just did 4 beautiful hours on 1210 WPHT on Kale and Company, filling in for Greg Stocker today. And now we are here on Rumble to round out the morning. The best way to get started in the morning, obviously everybody knows, is for 5 hours straight of yours truly. And by that, I mean, listen, I apologize if you subjected yourself to that, but if you have, thank you. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Obviously, a lot of breaking news. The Pope Francis has passed away. So a lot of people talking about that this morning. The left is already saying that J.D. Vance killed him, and, you know, because he met with the Pope yesterday. So the left is already blaming it on J.D. Vance, which is, you know, something that the left would do. It's silly. Also, Signalgate 2.0 is apparently out now. The New York Times, I didn't realize when this story broke last night that this was an anonymously sourced nonsense story from the New York Times. So what do we do with anonymously sourced nonsense from the New York Times? We throw it in the garbage, right? It's gone. Who cares? Okay? Because it's most likely nonsense. Sean Parnell came out and once again essentially confirmed that it's a nonsense story. We don't give the New York Times anonymous sources any credit here. So we will let that story do what they want to do with it. I think it's a distraction because the Democrats have been aptly branded as Dem-S 13. I love it. I think that's a good one. Dem-S 13. Why are they calling the Democrats Dem-S 13? Because they are fighting harder for illegal alien MS-13 gang members. They're trying to fight harder for them, or they are fighting harder for them than they've ever fought for the American people. They're also running this nonsense Signalgate 2.0, which I got to be honest, other than these, you know, couple comments here, I'm not even going to talk about today because it's not worth our time. They're trying to get Hegseth to resign. You know what I think's going on? I'll tell you what I think's going on. I don't think it's just the left. I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's just the left. I think the Democrats and I think the left are working with some uniparty, swampy, quote-unquote, Republicans because Pete Hegseth is not looking to go to war with Iran. Pete Hegseth is not looking to... He's not looking to go to war anywhere. He wants to keep our warfighters safe. Hegseth doesn't want to bomb Iran, so the neocons and the fake news are trying to take him out. The military-industrial complex is trying to get him out of the way. I think that's 100% what we're seeing here, and that, and obviously the left wants to try and put pressure on him to resign. But listen, nobody was fired. Nobody resigned after 13 Americans were killed in the Afghanistan withdrawal. But Pete Hegseth is supposed to resign because the New York Times said the Sasquatch told them, not literal Sasquatch like Letitia James, but told them that some anonymous imaginary source said that there was classified information in a Signal chat. He's supposed to resign because of that. And nobody resigned when we botched the Afghanistan withdrawal? Okay, yeah, sure. Sure, Jan, as the meme says. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. That's all the time we're going to spend on the Pete Hegseth, you know, Signalgate, the sequel. I'm going to talk a lot about this morning, the train wreck, the perpetual faceplant, the apparently stepping on rakes is Senator Van Hollen from Maryland's favorite hobby. He's very good at it, as he proved yesterday on the Sunday shows. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Brennan, people with nothing to hide do what? Yes. Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife is doing the people with nothing to hide stuff theory. Interesting. A very strange story out of New Mexico. A judge in New Mexico caught with something in his house that he's not supposed to have in his house.
Oh, no.
But he is taking us up on our challenge to leftists. Sasquatch, Letitia James. I don't care what anyone tells me. She looks like Sasquatch. Don't say that. That's not nice. First of all, I'm not trying to be nice to Letitia James. Second of all, she looks just like Sasquatch. She's in a little bit of hot water with this mortgage fraud thing that's going on. We've also got a funny story about Bernie Sanders and AOC. We are fighting the oligarchy. Oh, I don't. Senator Kennedy called me an ignorant something else. I don't know how to take that, Senator. No. Anywhere. You can go anywhere, here, there, or anywhere. You have the right to health care. Bernie Sanders and AOC fighting the oligarchy. But there's a big but there. Not AOC's but, as Alex Stein calls her his favorite big booty Latina. Oh man, we're going to fight the oligarchy everywhere we go. No. That and Joe Biden. Oh man. Whether it looks like he was photoshopped into the Easter photo yesterday, and just a ridiculous speaking fee that apparently he's charging. How much it costs Joe Biden to speak. I mean, you should be paid to listen to him speak. He should not be paid to speak to people. All right, we'll have a lot of fun. We'll get to Senator Van Hollen first half of the show. Second half we'll go after Bernie, AOC, and the rest of these crazy people, right? They're crazy people. Easter egg roll is today. Yeah, I know a lot of people are looking for comment on the Pope. I don't know enough about it. I don't know who the next Pope's going to be. I know that Pope Francis was kind of woke.
We're not Catholic.
I don't. The Pope's dead. He died. Rest in peace. Now they have a funeral for like a week or something, right? And then they do the thing with the smoke.
I got no idea.
And then they elect a new Pope. And hopefully the new Pope's not as woke as the old Pope. And if he is, then the same problems will persist. All right, welcome to everybody over on X. I see everybody here, especially Steve Gregory 82, who has reposted the stream. Appreciate all you guys. I know we got Cody from Florida. We've got, what happened?
Gina goes, rest in hell.
Oh, well, Gina, no fan of the Pope. By the way, and there's not a lot of people who are fans of the Pope, so. Good morning from Georgia, James Allen. Let us know where you're watching from over on Rumble as well, as we get into a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. That is Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms. OFPFarms.com. Mother's Day right around the corner. OFP Farms, they've done it again. They've crafted fabulous luxury gift boxes for moms that will not break the bank. These gift boxes are beautiful. They're flying off the shelves. Let me show you why. A nice little package that OFP Farms put together. Little video product here. Take a look at this beautiful promotion from OFP Farms. It's Mother's Day. Don't miss out. I know Dylan Fillion from Iowa just ordered a Mother's Day gift box for his mom from OFP Farms. You should too. Take a look at this. Get yours at OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com. Promo code Sean for 20% off, 20% off. OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN, OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean. I love that little video there. You guys want to share in the joy of what an OFP Farms gift set can do for you or mom. Obviously, you can go ahead and do that at OFPfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, 20% off. Next up, our word from our friends at Switch2USA.com. Our good friend Maria got a special message for you. That's Switch, the number 2, USA.com. Switch to number 2, USA.com. Take a look.
We all want to make a difference in our country and make change, but we don't all have the ability to do so. A lot of people are busy. They can't join school boards. They can't get on borough council, but they can change where they shop. And it's just shopping. It's that simple.
We're going to link arms and we're going to shop right here at this American factory. They make the products and they're all natural and they're good for us and they're affordable. Everything's made here in the USA.
That's switch number 2, USA.com. You see it on your screen. Folks, we've been talking about how the world has gone crazy with supply chain issues, record-setting inflation, and sky-high gas prices. We all know how the big box stores, they were allowed to stay open the whole time while so many little guys, small business owners, regular people, were forced to close. The wealthiest on the planet became better off. Mom and pop, they suffered. You and me, we suffered through the COVID nonsense, through the lockdowns, through the inflation, until we decided it was time to start voting with our dollars, time to start voting with your wallet. Switch2USA.com can help you do that. Answer this call to action and shop factory direct at a family-owned, made-in-America manufacturer for all of your monthly consumables like toothpaste, shaving cream, laundry detergent, shampoo, healthy snacks, and now grass-fed beef, all delivered right to your door. Switch away from made in China. Switch to made in the USA. It's one of the best ways to get around the crazy inflation. Jump into this parallel economy. Jump into the massive sweep that's happening through Patriot Nation. Decide that you want to be a part of the movement to cut off their cash flow. If you sign up, my friend Maria will enroll you. And then you can start shopping at this privately owned mom and pop. That's switch to number 2, USA.com. Switch to number 2, USA.com. Switch the number 2, USA.com. Dem-S 13, ladies and gentlemen. Dem-S 13. That is how we're going to refer to these people all the way until the 2026 midterms. If Republican interns and future content creators were smart, they would be clipping up and packaging up and putting together 2026 midterm ads right now. Right now. Have you ever seen Democrats fight harder for anybody than they do for illegal aliens?
No.
Every single time an illegal alien, first you can't remember Nancy Pelosi. We have referred to these people as illegal. It's not nice. Nancy Pelosi with her risks and her 93% success rate in the stock market. I cannot believe people like when I do that.
It's funny.
Yeah, well, I hate when I do it. I mean, I think it's funny, but it's like, I couldn't imagine. But maybe we'll start impersonating Nancy Pelosi too, because it's not hard to do. I look like a capuchin monkey from the museum. Have you ever seen Democrats fight harder for anybody who is not an illegal alien? It's like, because they know that's their future constituent, right? Seriously, they don't fight this hard for anybody. But once you're an illegal, you break into the country, it's like, oh, that's it. We have found our hill to die on. The hill of MS-13, the hill of a wide open border, the hill of violence, children being raped and killed and tortured. They have found their hill to die on, and their hill to die on is the hill of MS-13. That is why they are Dem-S 13. This senator from Maryland, Senator Van Hollen, went on a rake-stepping tour yesterday on the Sunday morning shows with the fake news. He just stepped on rake after rake after rake after rake after rake. It is unbelievable, Absolutely unbelievable to see people like Van Hollen. How about, did you see Michael Strahan and Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife? Michael Strahan, once he was a respected football player, a hard-hitting defensive lineman with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, he's got Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife in an interview, and he asks her about the MS-13 stuff, and she just clams up. It's just, have you ever seen the left fight as hard as they fight for anybody like they fight for illegal aliens? The answer is no. Look at Senator Van Hollen yesterday, implying that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an American. He is not an American. He is an illegal alien. He is most likely a gang member. I believe he is. Look at this clip yesterday on one of these Sunday morning shows that he did, referring to him as an American. Watch.
I think at some point, the president of El Salvador realized it was looking really bad to have this person who had been absconded from America, from the streets of Maryland, in one of their prisons.
An American? He's not an American. This is from a police report, folks. From the Prince George's County Gang Unit, an interview they did with Abrego Garcia. All right, here we go. Right on your screen. There it is. Right here on X. Abrego Garcia is a citizen and national of El Salvador. Abrego Garcia claimed to have walked across the desert for many days, entering illegally into the United States near McAllen, Texas, on or about March 25th, 2012. Does that sound like a legal American citizen to you? No. That alone, people want to say, oh, he hasn't committed any crimes. Excuse me. This is a crime. I can't take it. I can't take it. Brian Krasenstein, Ed Krasenstein, these dumbasses on X. No, seriously. He responded to me. He isn't an illegal alien. He was living in America legally before Trump picked him up and threw him in prison without even charging him with a crime. This is a crime. This, coming into the country illegally, is a crime. Hence the term illegal alien. That is a crime. The very first thing that Kilmar Abrego Garcia did in the United States is a crime. Entering the country illegally is a crime. Stop telling me he doesn't have a criminal history. The first thing he did in this country was a criminal act. I've had enough of that talking point. He is a criminal. Whether or not you want to debate the gang member tattoos, you want to say maybe he didn't actually beat his wife, you want to say all these different things. Okay, you want to have those conversations? We can have those conversations. We cannot have the conversation, though, that admitting that he broke into our country illegally isn't illegal. It's illegal. That's a crime. And if you do that, you get deported. Goodbye. Maryland man, American citizen, Maryland father, mistakenly deported. No. He was not mistakenly deported. He was deported because he was here illegally. Does anybody know what held up Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation in 2019? Oh, that's right. He was afraid that he would be targeted by a rival gang. Rival gang means he's in a gang. You can't have a rival gang if you don't belong to a gang in the first place. 2026 midterm ads are being made today, right now. They have to be. Ask anybody, any moderate out there, ask them, anyone you know, Any friends, family, co-workers, brothers, sisters, have you ever seen a Democrat? Have you ever seen a Democrat fight as hard for anybody as they fight for illegal aliens? It doesn't exist. Could you imagine for a second, if Senator Van Hollen fought this hard to help homeless veterans? Could you imagine for a second if Senator Van Hollen gave a damn about the people in his state as much as he cares about sipping margaritas with a gang member in El Salvador? If they even gave a fraction of the energy that they give to bringing gang members back into our country, to keeping Tren de Aragua in our country, a fraction of that energy towards something useful. Ask your moderate friends, have you ever seen a Democrat fight as hard for the working American as they do for illegal aliens? The answer to that question is no. The answer to that question is no. Here he is again with Dana Bash. And I actually give her a little bit of credit here. I don't like Dana Bash, but I give her a little bit of credit because she hits him. Hey, did you ask Kilmar Abrego Garcia if he was a member of MS-13? Watch this exchange. Watch him. I mean, this ain't just duck. This is ducking the question and then ring around the rosy going around the bush. Watch this.
Now, President Trump says that some of Abrego Garcia's tattoos signify that he's a member of MS-13. In 2019, police alleged a confidential informant claimed that Abrego Garcia was an active MS-13 member. His wife and his attorney deny that, of course. Can you say with absolute certainty that he is not, nor has he ever been a member of the MS-13 gang? And did you ask him point blank?
Well, Dana, what Donald Trump is trying to do here is change the subject. The subject at hand is that he and his administration are defying a court order to give Abrego Garcia his due process rights. They are trying to litigate on social media what they should be doing in the courts. They need to put up or shut up in the courts. Let me tell you, and I decided to write this down so I could be absolutely accurate as to what Federal District Court Judge Zinnes said about these allegations by the Trump administration. Quote, "No evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity has been presented to the court." That's where to litigate this. It's been litigated in many other places. So I'm not going to get into the details because the whole purpose of our court system is for them to adjudicate these things, not for Donald Trump to go off on social media.
Yeah, you're right. They have not, there hasn't been a court hearing for them to put forward evidence in the first place, which is your whole point. But since you were the one person to have met with him, and since this is a thing, you say on social media, it's what we hear from Donald Trump and Republicans every day, all day long, you didn't ask him?
I didn't ask him that because I know what his answer is. What he told me.
I know what his answer is. You know what that means? Can I translate that for you? You know why Senator Van Hollen did not ask Kilmar Abrego Garcia if he was a member of MS-13? Because he knows that Kilmar Abrego Garcia would tell him that he either is or was at some point a member of MS-13. It's because he doesn't want the answer. He just told the truth. He didn't know it. He didn't know it, and he doesn't want Kilmar Abrego Garcia talking about whether or not he is or was a member of MS-13. How about Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife? I feel bad for her, by the way. I think she's probably been essentially, metaphorically taken hostage by the gang, considering how she reacted to Michael Strahan's question. Did you guys see this one with Strahan Watch this.
And I know this is a sensitive question, but I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
Husband is alive. That's all I can say.
My husband is alive. Were you in fear of your husband in 2021 when you took out the order of protection against him? Well, he's alive. What? What? Speaking of the order of protection, be a shame if we got a copy of it, huh? I mean, it's all over the internet, like we got a copy of it specifically, but it'd be a shame if we read it, right? Be a shame. Yeah, let's read it, right? Let's go through it, shall we? There it is. There's the order of protection right there on your screen. We'll try and zoom in on this. I told him to give me his card to pay. He got angry, started insulting me. Loli puta. You know what that means? Puta? Look that up in Spanish. Not a nice word. Few of gas. Once leaving there, he pulled out like crazy. I started recording because I was scared of the way he was driving and because our 1-year-old was in the back seat. In the recording, you can hear him yelling, insulting me, driving extremely fast. On May 4th, 2021 at 1 o'clock, I was watching on my laptop and he yelled to turn it off. I told him I wasn't sleepy. He got angry, reached over, shut it, and threw my laptop on the floor. And the baby started to cry because he was putting pressure on him. My immediate reaction was to push him off of us, and he then scratched me on my left eye, leaving me bleeding. That same day at 2 p.m., he came home and said he was going out with a friend. I told him that I needed to go out to pick up some orders at BJ's. He got angry, started yelling again to the point where he ripped my shorts and shirt off, and I ran to the bathroom. He ran behind me, grabbed me by my arm. I have marks on my left arm as well. He then left, came home at 12 p.m., left my car parked in the neighborhood, and in the morning I asked him for the key and said he wasn't going to give it to me because he had things to do. Order Uber to leave with my kids because I was scared of him. Minutes later, he called that our car wasn't there anymore. At this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos and videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left me. That's the guy that Kilmar Abrego, that Senator Van Hollen is defending. Now, again, I'll say this. Those are allegations. What is that? Those are allegations. Those are not, that's not exactly ironclad. However, if she lied on that, then she should be prosecuted for it. Someone's lying. Either he did that to her and he should be held accountable, or she lied about the whole thing and she should be held accountable. Someone's lying. And I think she's a hostage in this situation. Sure, I'm not saying she's totally powerless. I'm not saying she made all good choices, but I think she's a hostage, and I'll show you why in just a second. Before we get to that, I want to get to a word from one of our new sponsors over at AmericanFinancing.net. That is AmericanFinancing.net, folks. How many of you have reached out to them? I've heard some good feedback there from AmericanFinancing.net. Obviously, they can really help you out with your financial situation. If you spend as little as 10 minutes on the phone with them, they may be able to help you out with your financial situation. Folks, with everything that's happening in the economy, it feels like we're all walking on shaky ground. Prices are stuck at a really high level, and it seems like nothing is affordable anymore. It's no wonder why so many are relying on credit cards to fill the gaps. Credit card debt is skyrocketing, and it's leaving a bunch of people stressed out. If you're a homeowner, you don't have to face this uncertainty alone. My friends over at American Financing can help you take control. They can help you access the equity in your home to help you pay down that high-interest credit card debt, giving you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people just like you are saving $800 a month. Plus, they may close your loan in as little as 10 days. Do not let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing now. It costs you nothing to get started, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you a little cushion during this uncertain time. Give them a call at 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, or you can go to AmericanFinancing.net/Farish. It's my last name, Farash. 866-885-8027 or AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH. NMLS number 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Next up is the LFA TV store. That's LFATV.us. LFATV.us. You know, we love the LFA TV store. There is something for everybody over at the LFA TV store. You will see it on your screen right there. This is the LFA TV website. Click on that store tab that you see right at the top, and then make sure that you click on the visit the store tab right there so you can see everything that there is to offer. Mugs are sold out. The I Don't Really Care Margaret shirt from J.D. Vance, that's a big hit, a top seller. Obviously, the As I Was Saying shirt, that was a big one where he returned to Butler. You got the flannels. You've got ball caps. You've got sweatpants, beach towels. You've got tank tops, Rise Up coffee, everything that you could possibly ask for here at the LFA TV store for you, your loved ones, family, friends, co-workers, maybe even a good gag gift for some of your liberal family members too. Maybe get them that Made America Great Again shirt. That would be pretty funny. That's LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store, LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store. All right, here's another interesting tactic being employed by Kilmar Abrego Garcia and his lovely wife, right? His lovely wife. Is there any reason, do you think, why Kilmar Abrego Garcia's lovely wife would be doing things like this? She continues to cover his hands with little emojis and filters and things in pictures that are posted to social media. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Now, why would she do that? And that's not the only one. Oh, look at that. Always over the hand. Always over the hand. Why would she do that? Could it be because of those gang tattoos? Could it be tattoos on the knuckle? Is it possible that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of MS effing 13? Where's the Oak Island narrator when we need him?
You just did it.
Mr. Clotworthy is his last name.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah? Tattoo. Oak Island mode. Yeah, you got like Gary Drayton with his metal detector. Oh, it's a Bobby Dazzler. And you see, Jack Begley, for those of you who watch Oak Island, he's like, wow, there's tattoos on the hand. What could this mean? That's a crazy finding. We didn't think we'd find that today. And then the narrator, tattoos on the knuckles? Could it be that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of the MS-13 gang? I don't know. What do you think? People with nothing to hide nothing, and she seems to be hiding an awfully lot. A lot. She seems to be hiding a lot. Always with the heart over the hands. Never seen that before. Unless, of course, there's something on his hands that she doesn't want the world to see. It's probably funny. She took those pictures and posted them on social media after the whole I almost got deported for being a member of MS-13 thing. And then she was going to post them. And he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Those are gang tattoos. Don't post those. People with nothing to hide nothing. She seems to be hiding an awful lot. They hide stuff. She seems to be hiding an awful lot. All right, here's a good one. What is one of the things that I tell liberals to do all the time when it comes to these illegal aliens? What's one of those things I tell them to do? You like them so much. You like these illegals so much. Why don't you, I don't know. Why don't you let them in your house? Why don't you open up your home to them, right? Well, apparently, a judge in New Mexico has taken us up on that challenge. A Democrat judge in the state of New Mexico apparently has resigned because he had a member of Tren de Aragua in his home. Democrat judge in New Mexico resigned from his bench last month after immigration agents arrested an alleged Tren de Aragua gang member living in his home. The illegal alien entered the United States in Eagle Pass, Texas, before being released on an immigration parole due to overcrowding. He eventually moved to New Mexico. Federal prosecutors in the District of New Mexico allege that 23-year-old Christian Ortega Lopez was illegally in possession of a firearm and has ties to the hyper-violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Interesting. And so you have, I was told there are no activist judges. It looks like there are activist judges, and there are judges that are harboring illegals in their home. I think that's a crime. What is that? Nobody's paw snip, parsley, parlay. Nobody's above the law. That's the phrase I was thinking of. My goodness, it's been a long morning. Nobody's above the law. So, I don't know. When's this judge getting arrested? Today? Tomorrow? Oh, that's right. Probably never, right? Probably never. It's not going to happen. Hope it does. But I will say this. At least this judge put his money where his mouth is. At least this judge put his money where his mouth is. You know, I was like, hey, if you love them so much, why don't you open up your home? And he was like, good idea. Come on in. Tren de Aragua. It's unbelievable. By the way, you know, wasting away again in Margaritaville. We're going to have to parody that song to make fun of Senator Van Hollen because he was sipping margaritas. That's why the thumbnail for the show, I put the picture of them sipping margaritas. I sent it to Eli, and he made it. It says, cheers, amigo. Searching for my lost sugar of salt. Salt, salt, salt. You know, I'm gonna address the chat real quick because our friend, he seems to want to run his own show. OSS Ninja. I think he should, but it would involve him making a very, very drastic lifestyle change that he hasn't found a way to make it yet.
No, he's afraid to show his face. He's afraid to show.
He's afraid to show his face, but he calls other people's cowards. Yeah, interesting. Or maybe he's just ugly.
Oh.
Could wear a mask.
U-G-L-Y.
You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. All right. Just wanted to address that because, you know, it's always funny to see the suggestions and then the folks who just don't have the courage to do this every day. It is what it is. Plus, that lifestyle change would make it very hard. Why is the rum gone? Yes. Emerald Sonic. Why is the rum gone? Senator Van Hollen admitted the obvious. He went down to Waste Away in Margaritaville with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Who paid for it? Who do you think paid for it? We did. Listen.
Who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip, cleared on a bipartisan basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Taxpayer dollars. So it was our money. You guys, all of us, it was tax day a week ago, writing big, beautiful checks to the government, to the IRS, and they took the money and cashed your checks and bought plane tickets and went all the way down to El Salvador. By the way, it wasn't just Senator Van Hollen. There were 4 more that went down this morning to El Salvador. And that would be Representatives Robert Garcia, Maxwell Frost, Yasamin Ansari, and Maxine Dexter arrived in El Salvador to pressure the Trump administration to bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an illegal alien, MS-13, gang member, wasting away again in Margaritaville, right? Here is the great Scott Jennings, by the way, who basically landed it. If you have to continue to defend illegal aliens, if you have to continue to defend gang members, if you have to continue to explain why defending gang members is actually a good thing, you're losing. You're losing. Okay? It's that simple. Listen to this.
Yeah, listening to Van Hollen explain all this, like if you're explaining how you came to be sipping margaritas with an MS-13 gangbanger who's lived illegally in the United States for 14 years before he was finally deported, you're losing, okay? You're losing. You're losing optically, you're losing politically, and I assume the people of Maryland are wondering, why doesn't this guy ever work as hard for us as he does for this guy who's down in El Salvador, which, by the way, is where he's from in the first place? Look, you know, macro view for me, the American people elected Donald Trump to deport illegal aliens. They especially elected him to deport people who are affiliated with very violent transnational gangs that we now characterize as terrorist organizations. I think he's doing his job, and I think the American people are behind him, and I think the Democrats like Van Hollen look ridiculous standing up for him more than they stand up for the people of the United States of America who are actually citizens of this country.
I couldn't agree more with Scott Jennings, and I ask the question again, have you ever seen Democrats fight as hard as they fight for illegal aliens? Have you ever seen them fight for anybody else like this? Have you ever seen them fight for anybody else like this? No. No. They do not fight this hard for their own frickin' constituents. They do not fight this hard for their own constituents. They don't. They don't care that this guy is affiliated with a gang. They don't care that this guy was in the country illegally. They don't care about an order of protection that his wife took out on him, but detailing the amount of assault that she had to endure. They don't care about that. They want this guy back in this country. That's what they want. Remember, if you defended J6ers and cited the lack of due process granted to American citizens who got caught up on January 6th, and speaking of J6ers, by the way, I will put my feet up, not in front of the camera. Plus, it would be kind of difficult. To anybody who thought I was wrong about Jake Lang, did you see what he did this weekend? Let you figure that one out yourselves. He's been out of jail for what? Just about 3 months. And he went and broke into a high school football stadium and caused a problem with Austin Metcalf's father. I don't care what you think of him. Maybe he's always being too soft on Carmelo Anthony. You know what? It's his son who's dead, not yours, unfortunately, and thankfully for you. Unfortunately for him. Jeff Metcalf has asked on a billion occasions to please keep race out of it. He doesn't believe it was racially motivated. I don't believe it was racially motivated. We've had this conversation. I'm respecting Jeff Metcalf's wishes. I'm following the information. He says he doesn't want this stuff happening, and Jake Lang went out and used his dead son as a prop to remain relevant because he can't grift off of J6 anymore. But you were called traitors. You were called terrorists. You were called insurrectionists. You were called all sorts of terrible things for advocating for all J6ers to be given their due process rights, including Jake Lang, by the way. You were called traitors for that. Meanwhile, you have the Democrat Party demanding due process for a guy who already had his due process. He admitted to coming here illegally. He was found to be affiliated with the MS-13 gang. He's supposed to be out of here. Now he is out of here. They want him back. 2026 midterm ads are being made today. And if you are not out there actively showing your friends, family, coworkers, any moderate voters in your circle, how hard the Democrats are fighting for illegal aliens and asking them, when's the last time they fought this hard for you? You're not doing your job. Show them the clips of Senator Van Hollen sipping margaritas with a gang member in El Salvador. Show them the photos and show them the stories of 4 more Democrat congressmen and congresswomen going down to El Salvador to advocate for an illegal alien gang member to come back into this country, and ask your friends, ask your moderate friends, your left-leaning friends, say, when's the last time your representatives, your Democrat representatives, fought this hard for you? Can you name a time they fought this hard for you? And watch them melt right in front of you. The Democrats don't care about this country. They don't care about you. They don't care about American citizens. We've been calling them this for a while. The illegal aliens are now super citizens in this country. They are, according to Democrats, they are due more rights than you are. It's a complete farce. And they're going to continue on this road all the way up into 2026. I hope they do. Because those midterm ads are being made today. Don't let this go. It's not something that just, oh, well, it happened in April of 20. No, take this with you all the way up into those midterms. Take it seriously. All right, speaking of something to take seriously, Letitia James. Letitia effing James. Sasquatch. She's in some trouble, ain't she? Isn't she, I'd say she's not in a good spot. Tish. Letitia James. So apparently she did this whole thing with Trump with the fraud, and there was no victims and this whole thing. And now she's calling these fraud claims baseless, apparently. Baseless. New York Attorney General Letitia James claims mortgage fraud allegations are baseless and part of Trump's revenge tour. It wasn't long ago when Sasquatch said that nobody was above the law. She says, I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. I hope you don't bend. You see that plumber's crack coming out. I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the president of these United States. She said she would officially respond to the letter at the appropriate time and in the appropriate way, a.k.a. the lawyers got to get a hold of it. Federal Housing FHFA Director William Pulte sent a letter to the Attorney General Pam Bondi on Tuesday, which she probably hasn't read because she's been busy on Fox News, accusing James of having falsified records to get a home loan in Virginia while she was still serving as the New York State Attorney General. Apparently, she listed Virginia as her principal address, but you can't do that if you're serving as the Attorney General. The letter says, based on media reports, Letitia James has, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans and more favorable loan terms. This has included falsifying resident status for a Norfolk, Virginia-based home in order to secure a lower mortgage rate, and misrepresenting property descriptions to meet stringent requirements for government-backed loans and government assistance, according to the letter. So she lied about a 5-dwelling residence and said that it was a 4-dwelling residence. She, on 2 occasions, said that her father was her husband. She declared her primary residence or principal residence to be in Virginia while serving as the Attorney General of New York State. If nobody is above the law, she needs to be made an example of. Period. End of story. Or else, what are you doing? Or else you're setting the precedent that it is okay for them to go after us, but it is not okay for us to go after them. And the difference here is that they went after us with a lack of evidence. We've got evidence out the yin-yang, out the wazoo, and as Bongino said back in the day, I don't even know where the wazoo is. I know where the wazoo is. I don't need a description. It's where Buttigieg loves it, right? Which could be, the front or the back, but the wazoo is usually the back. Letitia James. Nobody's above the law, not even you. And I think a massive example should be made of her. If nobody's above the law, then it's time to treat this seriously. And it is time to give this the attention that it deserves. And it is time to prosecute her and hold her accountable to the fullest extent of the law. All right, hit that thumbs up button for us, folks. My throat is killing me. Oh, man. These 5-hour days are rough. They're a lot of fun, though, I will say. They're a lot of fun. But they're rough. They are rough. All right, here we go. Folks, I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity and gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Well, I will tell you right now, the best way to do that is to visit our friends over at Armor Colostrum. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life and contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Check it out right here at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. You can reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. You can fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism, combat bloating, feel lighter. Probiotics are touted as a big-time gut health solution, but they only address one part of the four-part gut wall, and most probiotics are dead by the time they reach your gut. Colostrum naturally fortifies your entire gut wall system. It optimizes your microbiome, and it strengthens the gut wall architecture, which guards against irritants that can trigger symptoms like bloating and constipation. You can fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery as well. Go to tryarmor.com/LFA TV. It's TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV for 15% off. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV for 15% off. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV for 15% off. Folks, thank you so much for watching over on Rumble, over on X as well. James Allen says Letitia James bends like canned biscuit dough. Whoa. Oof. That is... Debbie Taylor says, what? Rumble keeps going off and keeps going on. It won't keep your show on. Sorry about that. Thank you for watching over on X. We appreciate it. For those of you watching on X too, hit that repost, hit the like button. Everybody who is watching everywhere, go ahead and do that as well. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into some hypocrisy, shall we? Yeah. Bernie Sanders. Hello? $15 an hour? $15 an hour, minimum wage. We are fighting the oligarchy. We are fighting against billionaires who are stealing your health care. Oligarchy. Rich group of people who run the government to dictate society, the oligarchy. $15 an hour. You know what's funny about this? You know this tour that he's going on with AOC? They were just in Idaho. Remember this?
Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts.
AOC. You know that, they're not flying commercial to get, I will not sit in the middle seat. I have to pee often, and I want an aisle seat, or I will not be boarding the plane. And AOC, she tries to ride in the cargo hold because she doesn't know any better. Stupid person. They fly private, of course. Did you know that these are the people fighting against elites and billionaires and the oligarchy? Did you know they're flying around on a private jet that costs $15,000 an hour? When I said $15 an hour, I meant $15,000 an hour for a private jet. Could you believe this guy? Could you believe? Nothing said, Bernie, nothing says, I'm fighting for the little guy to have access to health care. Like taking a private jet with AOC that costs $15,000 per hour. Do you understand? That to go from here... Well, let's say New York to California. What's that, like a 4-hour flight? That's a $60,000. That's more than somebody makes in a year. You're giving his private jet company $15,000 an hour. I will fight for the little guy as long as I can fly private. 15. That's an absurd number. Doge. Where's Doge? Elon. Stop fighting with Ashley Sinclair and get this under control, please. 15,000. Oh, wait. It gets worse than that. Wait. It gets worse than that? Oh, it gets worse than that. Hope everybody had a happy Easter. Today's the White House Easter egg roll today. Clearly, Hitler, Donald Trump, must have threatened to put Bezos and Zuckerberg and Google, must have thrown it in the gulag or else, because they sponsored it, right? So it's not at the taxpayer dime, which is good. Joe Biden is available to speak. If any of you want him, this is not how much I charge, by the way, for events. Maybe I should start if they're charging, this much for Joe Biden. Joe Biden's available to speak at any of your events, by the way. If you want him to be a guest speaker, maybe at a wedding, college, maybe some institute. Right? Where's Jackie? Get a load of the oyster bunny. Right? I greatly miss the Pope. I poped in front of the Pope, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Whew. Joe Biden is having trouble, could you imagine that, getting booked for gigs across the country because he is charging an absurd $300,000 per speech. He must have been hanging out with Hunter. He has to. 300,000. Who the hell is paying $300,000 to get that guy out there to speak to their audience? Who? This is worse than the Hunter Biden art scam. $300,000. I get it. You're like a former president, allegedly, even though you used the auto pen. $300,000 for a half hour? People are like, you're too affordable for these events. You should charge more. I'm like, no, I like to be you know what? At least I sound like a good president. $300,000 per speech. What are you, crazy? I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. That's $300,000. That's what that's worth. All right. Well, someone pays for it. I don't know who. USAID is gone, so I don't know where the money's coming from. But my goodness, talk about a racket. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. We're back tomorrow, live and in living color as always, here on rumble.com/LFA TV, also on X as well. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We greatly appreciate everybody. Listen, Jack, I want $300,000 delivered to my bank account tomorrow to speak at your event. Gotta be kidding me. $15,000 an hour for my private jet. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Jeremy Harrell coming up next with Live from America for the next 2 hours. You got to love it. It's going to be great. You don't have to go anywhere on the master stream here on rumble.com/LFA TV. Hit that thumbs up button before you leave. Greatly appreciate you all being here. Have a great rest of your Monday. We're back tomorrow. Same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV and over on X. Also, anywhere you get your podcasts, go on your favorite podcasting app. Search Ungoverned, hit subscribe. It's all you got to do. That's all we need you to do is just hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. We greatly appreciate your support. Helps us reach the audio files out there too. The people who like to listen, not necessarily have the video on playing. Thanks again. And in the words of John Fetterman, he was the front runner for 2028. Not so much anymore. Good night, everybody. Bang gavel. We'll see you tomorrow morning.